All right, friends, welcome. I know we're excited to get going on the lessons, but before we get started, I want to give a quick overview of the course. Now, I know you're going to want to jump ahead to your favorite topic, but we've actually designed this course in a very specific way, so it makes more sense if you watch it in chronological order. I mean, you can totally skip ahead if you want to, but honestly, watch in order, you won't regret it. You're totally going to skip to your favorite course. In this overview, we'd like to start off with a quick summary of the course. This is a step-by-step snapshot of the entire portrait process. Shooting on location can be a little more complicated than just walking outside with your camera. A great portrait all comes down to organization, and this summary should give you a good roadmap on how to plan your next shoot. So, let's jump right in. Every image starts with an idea, and every great idea starts with inspiration. Fortunately, inspiration is all around us. Maybe you see a nice image on social media, or find something in one of your favorite magazines. Life is full of inspiring artwork, so it's not a bad idea to keep a journal. And don't be afraid to let your imagination out to play. Don't let your ideas get away. Write them down, send yourself a text message, do whatever it takes to preserve your ideas and your inspiration. Trust me, they'll come in handy later. Scouting is one of the most essential factors to shooting outside. We've actually dedicated an entire episode to scouting locations for portrait photography. There's a lot to consider when selecting the proper environment, and we have lots of tips and tricks on how to set yourself up for success. So be sure not to miss our episode on scouting. I have way too much gear. Said no photographer ever. We'll use this chapter to nerd out on our favorite camera equipment. Telephoto versus wide, zoom versus prime. Different lenses can give you drastically different results when it comes to portraits. Furthermore, camera gear is not the only thing that you need to have with you. Experience has taught us to pack a list of totally unexpected items that will always come in handy the day of your shoot. So be sure to come hang out with us as we talk shop on essential equipment. Once you've scouted out a great location, it's time to plan your shoot. What time of day should you be on location? When will the light be best? Have you coordinated the correct time with your model? Is it best to carpool or drive separate? Do you need to pay for parking? You'll want to make sure you have all of these things and more covered before it's time to pull the camera out of the bag. There's nothing worse than getting caught by surprise when you're trying to be creative. Shooting on location. This is it. Game time. You've scouted your location and planned your shoot. Now it's time for boots on the ground. Dial in those settings, lock focus, hit the shutter, and work your magic. We'll cover shooting on location in great detail in the lessons ahead. Post-production. Now that your images are safely captured, it's time for the step-by-step digital workflow to begin. We will organize and edit our images in Lightroom, then move our final selections into Photoshop for retouching and fine-tuning. After the post-production process is complete, you should have a nice selection of finished images. So, now what? We didn't just go through all that work so that your beautiful new portraits can get stashed away on a hard drive. Fortunately, there are a number of avenues we can take from here. Are you delivering images to a client? Are you making large format prints for the gallery wall? Will they go on social media or perhaps your website? Are these images intended for stock photography sales? And perhaps most important, how do we archive these files so that they will always remain safe for future use? As you can see, a lot can happen after your final images have been produced. Now, because this is primarily a portrait foundations course, we will not be going down the deliverables rabbit hole. This section is an entirely new class unto itself. In the near future, we will have lots of tutorials on deliverables over at Premium Light Academy, so be sure to check back with us on that one. For now, we're going to stay focused on portraits. As this summary comes to a close, you can see that creating professional portraits takes a bit more commitment than your average smartphone selfie. And I know what you're thinking, this is a lot of stuff. I just want to learn how to take better pictures. Not to worry, this may seem like a lot at first, but as you build experience, most of these steps will become second nature. In fact, a lot of it's just plain old common sense. Now that we have an overall roadmap of the process, it's time to get started. So we'll see you in the next lesson.